Thinking about taking a day trip from Athens to Meteora? Let me show you exactly what to expect. From breathtaking monasteries and hidden hermit caves to what a lunch looks like and whether this tour is truly worth it.
Hi, I'm Chrysula, a local here in Athens, and in this video I will walk you through my full experience on this top-rated Meteora tour, including tips to help you make the most out of your day.
You will find the link to the exact tour in the description below. Before we dive into the experience, let's talk logistics, because how you get to Meteora can really shape your day. You've got three main options. First, you can rent a car, which gives you flexibility, but I only recommend this if you're planning a full road trip through mainland Greece. Meteora is a long drive from Athens and the roads can be tiring if you're doing it all in one day. Second, there is the train, a popular choice for years. You leave Athens in the morning, arrive in Kalabaka, and your tour company picks you up from the station for the Meteora tour. Afterward, they will drop you back off for your return train to Athens. But my favorite and the option I chose is to take the bus. With the new road improvements, the journey now takes almost the same time as the train, but at nearly half the cost. It's direct, comfortable and fully organized. You hop on in Athens, arrive in Kalabaka, enjoy the full 4 to 5 hour tour and then return on the same bus that evening. It's easy, affordable and ideal for travelers who want a no-stress day trip. If you are short on time but still want to see one of Greece's most magical places, this is the way to do it. This full-day adventure begins bright and early at around 8 AM at Larissi Station, the main train station in Athens. Getting there is easy. Just hop on the Ren Metro line, line 2, and ride less than 10 minutes from Syntagma. Once you arrive, follow the signs to the Deliyani Philadelphia's exit. You will come out on a main road right across from the station. That's where your bus will be waiting to depart. The coach is modern, air-conditioned and even has free Wi-Fi, so you can stay connected or stream your favorite playlist while watching the scenery unfold. About 2 hours in, we made a 30-minute stop for breakfast, coffee and a restroom break. A perfect chance to stretch your legs and grab a bite before continuing on.
So now we have stopped for a break on the highway, around 2 hours after we left Athens, and we'll have a coffee and a toilet break, and then we will continue to Meteora.
By just before 1 PM, we arrived in Kalabaka, the small town at the foot of Meteora, and that's where the real experience begins. Once in Kalabaka, the first thing you get is a 30-minute break to relax and refuel. If you book the lunch included option, which I highly recommend, this is when you will enjoy it. You get to choose one main dish from a list of around 10 options, plus a fresh Greek salad, and yes, vegetarian and vegan dishes are included too. So it's almost 1 o'clock and we have just arrived in Kalabaka. If you have picked the lunch option like I did, you're going to have a 30-minute break for lunch and then we're off for our tour around the monasteries. My lunch was absolutely delicious and trust me, you will want the energy. After lunch, we met our local guide who welcomed us warmly and guided us to a smaller minibus reserved just for our group. This is when the experience truly starts to come alive, with stories, stops and views that you just can't get on your own. Over the next few hours, we explored the cliffs of Meteora, a landscape that honestly looks like something out of a fantasy film. We made stops at all 6 of the active monasteries, each perched dramatically atop towering rock pillars. Out of the 6, we entered 3, which vary depending on the day, since each monastery has its own opening hours and days of rest. So no two tours are exactly the same, and that's part of the magic. Inside you will see centuries-old frescoes, ancient relics and beautifully preserved chapels that have served as places of worship for hundreds of years. The atmosphere is deeply spiritual and humbling, whether you are religious or not. But there is more. One of the most fascinating parts of the tour was seeing the hermit caves. These small carved out shelters were once used by monks who lived in total isolation. Some are barely visible from the road, tucked high into the rocks, silent witnesses to a way of life that feels both distant and sacred. And yes, you will make plenty of photo stops throughout the tour, some at well-known panoramic viewpoints, others at secret spots known only to locals. The views stretch for miles, with monasteries silhouetted against the sky and the valley unfolding below. You will want to keep your camera or phone ready at all times. This is truly one of the most photogenic places in Greece. Before you head off to explore the monasteries, there are a few important things you should know that will really help you prepare and enjoy the experience more. First, be ready for stairs. Visiting the monasteries involves a fair amount of climbing. Some have over 100 steps carved into the rock. The only monastery that's easily accessible without stairs is St. Stephen's, which has a small bridge instead. But keep in mind, it's usually closed on Mondays. So if you have mobility limitations, try to plan your visit on another day when it's open. Wear comfortable shoes. You will be walking quite a bit on uneven paths and stone steps. This isn't the place for flip-flops or sandals without support. As for clothing, there is a strict dress code to enter the monasteries. Women must have their shoulders covered and pants are not allowed. You will need to wear a skirt or dress that falls below the knee. Men should avoid shorts above the knee as well. But don't worry, if you forget, the monasteries provide wraps and skirts at the entrance, so you can still go inside respectfully. There is also a small entry fee of €5 per monastery, and it's cash only, though they do give change if needed, so bring some coins or small bills. If you're visiting during the summer months, expect intense heat, and especially on those stone paths. Bring a hat, sunscreen, sunglasses, and plenty of water. Some monasteries have refill stations, and you will also find small cantinas near a few of them selling cold drinks and snacks. If you're visiting in winter, especially between November and February, bring warm clothes. It can get really cold, especially on the cliffs where the wind picks up. But there is a bonus during this time of year. The tour includes the breathtaking Meteora sunset, a truly magical experience that adds a golden glow to an already unforgettable place. Each monastery has toilet facilities, which is great because the tour is long and there aren't many stops between locations. And lastly, while you will want to take photos everywhere because it's that beautiful, keep in mind that filming and photography are not allowed in certain parts of the monasteries, especially inside the chapels. Always check the signs or ask your guide to avoid any issues. So we just finished our tour of the Meteora monasteries and we are going to go back to Athens now. I really like this tour. It was very well organized. We had a lovely guide and it's a great way to see a different side of Greece, different than the islands. So I will leave the link of the specific tour in the comments below. Thank you! After the tour wraps up at around 6 p.m, it's time to head back to Athens. You will reboard the same comfortable coach and begin the return journey, tired but completely fulfilled after everything you've seen and experienced. About 2 hours into the ride, we made another 30-minute stop, this time for a quick dinner and restroom break. So we are on our way back to Athens and we have stopped at the same place that we stopped earlier in the morning, this time to grab some dinner. And within the next 2 hours, we'll be back in Athens. It's almost 10:30 and we are back in Athens. It was a full day, but it was totally worth it. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! You will find the exact tour I joined in the description. Feel free to book through that link to support the channel at no extra cost.